Hi everybody. As you know, right, these days we've been talking about beauty, particularly all those beauty stereotypes and ideas that people have that beauty should or shouldn't be, right? We are discussing beauty from like a more critical point of view. We have discussed whether beauty is something universal or is something personal, and today, particularly, we are going to learn how to talk about beauty stereotypes. Let's start by discussing what a stereotype is. You can see some synonyms from stereotypes above there. We can say that a stereotype is a convention, it's a prejudice, it's a belief, and there are stereotypes regarding social class, race, religion, etc. Right? Today, as I told you, we're going to be focusing on stereotypes regarding beauty, okay? Physical appearance, attraction, etc. So basically, what's a stereotype? I pasted a definition for you. A stereotype it's a group of characteristics that certain people is given because of any particular thing that they share. As I told you, it could be race, it could be nationality, it could be religion, it could be, in this case, physical traits, etc. These characteristics are just like oversimplifications. I mean, that is to say, they give the same characteristic to all the group. In some cases, those characteristics are true, right? For example, saying that Mexican people usually have dark hair. That's a stereotype, and it is more or less true. Even though I don't doubt that there are a couple Mexicans with blonde hair or red hair or whatever, most Mexicans we do have dark hair, right? But these stereotypes sometimes are not representative of the people. For example, I'm going to show you a very common stereotype regarding physical appearance. You can see it right there. A famous stereotype is that blonde women are believed to be dumb, right? I mean, even though I am sure that somewhere in the world there must be a blonde woman that is not very smart, I am also pretty sure that the hair color doesn't have anything to do with being smart or not, right? I'm sure there are plenty of blonde women out there that are very intelligent. So that is a stereotype. Something that people say, something that people believe, but it is not really true. It is just a characteristic that was given to a particular group of people. So right now then, we are going to be talking about how we can express these stereotypes and why they cannot be expressed like in the normal way. Okay, let's take a look at these two phrases over there. This is another beauty stereotype that used to be true. Well, it is true at some levels sometimes. For example, people consider that short hair is not feminine. I mean, they tell girls since they are very young that you are supposed to have long hair because short hair it is not considered feminine, right? But take a look at the two ways of expressing it that we have in the sentence here. People consider that short hair is not feminine, or it is considered that short hair is not feminine. So, question is, which one's more formal in your opinion? Which one sounds better? Which one sounds more accurate? Well, definitely, I'm pretty sure you chose the second one, right? Why? Well, let me show you. Normally, when we say something like this, when we express an stereotype, we are not sure actually who started it. If I tell you people consider that short hair is not feminine, you are probably going to ask me, what people? I mean, who exactly? And I honestly don't know. I don't know who started this stereotype, right? So it is better to eliminate the word people, to eliminate mentioning who said it, because we actually don't know. So it is safer to say it is considered that short hair is not feminine. By who? We have absolutely no idea, right? But it is considered, you know? Okay, so let's take a look at what kind of phrase and what kind of structure is this. Today we're going to learn how to make two different passive reporting structures. Why are they passive? Because they focus on the message and not on the people that said that. Remember, we use passive voice when whether we don't know, we don't want to mention, or we don't want to give importance to the people that does the action, but to the action itself, right? So in this case, we are focusing on the message, on what it is said, over who or what said it, right? And why reporting? Because we are repeating a message said by someone else that it doesn't come originally from me. If it were my idea, I would say, I think that short hair is not feminine. But regarding stereotypes, normally we don't want to admit that we believe in stereotypes, right? Because stereotypes are sort of a negative thing. So we just mention, oh, well, it is considered. So there are two structures. The first one is the one that you saw in the previous example, that it says it is considered that short hair is not feminine. How do we form it? Well, we use the pronoun it, so we are not specifying. We use the verb to be, conjugated according with the tense, right? So if it is in present, si ahorita se considera, entonces decimos it is. And then the verb, okay? In this case, that verb is going to be in past participle form. It is considered that, and then you say what the stereotype is. Short hair is not feminine, that blonde women are dumb, etc. Or we can use a complete passive structure. That is, pasamos hasta adelante, the object, ¿de qué estamos hablando? We are talking about short hair, right? So short hair, that is the subject, then the verb to be, conjugated accordingly, plural, singular, present, past, and then the verb in past participle. Short hair is not considered, and then we just end up with the characteristic. Short hair is not considered feminine. Okay guys, well, let's talk now about what the structure of this expression is and how we can use it and what changes we can make. Let's start with the impersonal one. We call it impersonal because we use the pronoun it. That means that we are not mentioning any person, that's why it's impersonal. And for you to have an idea of what we are saying, it is the equivalent in Spanish of saying se cree, se dice, se piensa. Okay? So when we use the pronoun it, in this case, that is what we mean. So, for example, we start by the one above. It was believed that red-haired women were witches. In the past, right? Nowadays, no. Nowadays, you don't see a girl with red hair and you say, oh, she's a witch. But in the past, when people was more superstitious, it was believed that red-haired women were witches. By who? We have no idea. That's why it's impersonal, right? So, the structure is, again, it, because it's impersonal, that it is never going to change. The verb to be, in this case, is going to be conjugated in past because we are talking about something that was believed in the past, not nowadays. So, my stereotype belongs to the past, so the verb to be, it's conjugated in past. Then, we need the verb in past participle, in this case, believed, that, and then what the stereotype actually was. The stereotype what actually was. So it was believed that red-haired women were witches. And then we can also talk about something in the present that started in the past. For example, it has been argued, I don't know if you had heard this, it has been argued that jeans are not appropriate for older people. Have you heard this? The famous designer Carolina Herrera, she said this sometime. She said that people, I don't know if it was older than 30 or than 40, should not wear jeans. So it has been argued, because it's been an argument, some people say yes, some people say no, that jeans are not appropriate for older people. In this case, we have also the pronoun it, but we have the verb to be conjugated into, what tense is that? into the present perfect. It has been. Why? Because the discussion started in the past, but it continues up to the present, right? So it has been argued that a verb in past participle and that, and then the stereotype. Jeans are not appropriate for older people. So that is the way that we express impersonal sentence. I mean, something that we heard, but we don't want to, or we don't know who we don't want to mention, or we don't know who the author is. Okay, now let's take a look at the passive one. The passive one leaves completely out who or what said the message. So in this case, we change it to we start directly with the thing or the people we're talking about. In this case, we're talking about the red-haired women, and that's my subject. Then the verb to be, again in past, because we are talking about something in the past, and the verb in past participle. But the difference here is that now the following verb is going to be in infinitive form, to be. With passive, the verb, that is usually the verb to be, it's going to be in infinitive form. Red-haired women were believed to be witches. Okay? We don't mention at all by who. Or, well, the next one, we start. What are we talking about? Jeans. So jeans is the subject. Jeans have been argued to be not appropriate for older people. Again, infinitive. Okay? Well, so that's basically how we can use these two structures. You can choose to use whichever you prefer, right? We actually don't have a passive reporting structure in Spanish, but we have it in English. So you can decide which one you prefer to use, okay? And then finally, well, what are the reporting verbs that we can use with this structure? We can use the verb said, of course, it is said, considered, believed, taught, argued, or claimed. Those are the verbs that we can use for expressing ideas that are not ours, but that we want to make known, okay? Well, try to make your own examples about the stereotypes or the things, the rumors that you have heard regarding beauty, okay? Let me know if I can help you with anything else. Bye.